Good job, guys. Cause for a celebration.
You got it. I'll see you back at your place.
Hello and welcome to the Video Vortex. That's right. It's a yet another new series here on the All American Spook Show YouTube channel. This one is going to be a little different in the sense of like the theme of it and what exactly we're trying to do here. Like this is more of just having fun with some with just B-movie straight to video, straight to VHS, straight to DVD, whatever, straight to video type flicks that we're going to be discussing here. And what better way to start it? And it was a totally random poll. Literally how we choose. We don't choose this necessarily. We threw a bunch of movies on a wheel, like literally almost 300 movies that we have. And that list will continue to grow as we find some more titles to add to the, to the mix. Yeah. But we spun the wheel and whatever it lands on, that's what we're going to go with. And this time we went, it landed on Samurai Cop from 1991 of all movies. it lands on that. And we did a second spin just recently for what we're going to do on the next Video Vortex. And that's a tease. We'll let you know at the end what that's going to be, but it's quite ironic what it landed on. Like I said, out of almost 300 movies, it landed on this. It was crazy, but we'll get to that. But Smoak, what do you want to say right off the top here about Samurai Cop?
Well, first of all, this is a first time watch for all of us.
Yeah.
I've known about it for some time now, and I've seen old clips of it here or there on YouTube or whatever, but and heard about the craziness of the movie or whatever.
Craziness is an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, for legit, it felt like somebody shot a movie and said nope, and then threw it behind a dumpster, and then somebody came along and just cobbled a movie together.
That's pretty accurate, I would say, and not even over different, over various time periods, various continuity areas, various editing problems, to put it lightly.
Mr. Fujiyama doesn't want to waste any more time.
Well, first of all, it wasn't shot on video. It was direct-to-video, but I mean, it was shot on, I believe, 35. It was shot on film. Pretty sure it was 35 millimeter. He didn't have a whole lot of film to play around with developing, and it's very expensive. So I think he shot everything one take. Whatever's in there was in there. So, that makes for a lot of bloopers and unintentional things that happened that were just kept in the movie.
He being the director and the writer, Amir Shervan. And
yes.
The only person of note in this movie that you would recognize on any level would be Robert Zadar, right?
Yeah, the Maniac Cop himself, which is this movie kind of, not that he's not even the cop in this movie. We'll get to that too.
He's a main
somebody else. He's the gangsters.
Oh my God. Call security.
It's very debatable whether, the title of the movie is Samurai Cop, that there really is any samurai whatsoever in this movie at all.
In name only, you might say. And I guess as far as the actual Samurai Cop himself, his samurai, I hesitate to say skills, his attempt at samurai skills happens mainly in the conclusion of the movie.
You get your ass out of my office, or you'll have to go to surgery to get my foot out of it. Get out of here, you asshole! Leave me alone.
Yeah, the samurai part. Robert Zadar is supposedly he's a samurai that he keeps talking about the Bushido code and all this. So he's the samurai gangster of the movie.
That's right. That's his part. Robert Zadar's part is Yamashita, but the main guy that the title role, so to speak, the Samurai Cop, is Joe Marshall, played by Mathew Karedas. At some point in the past, he was trained as a samurai, and then for some reason becomes a cop in San Diego.
Are responsible for bringing you from San Diego.
And then in Los Angeles, they need help taking down this Japanese gang, so they bring him in. But meanwhile, all he wants to do is have sex and clown around, and the most samurai possible, right?
At this point, mention the wig. I think.
Oh God!
He had long hair originally when they shot the film during production. He had long hair, and then director wrapped production, and so all the actors thought that the production was wrapped for however many weeks it was, until he called some people back and said he needed to do some reshoots. And by that time, had chopped his hair off short in order to, because his agent told him, maybe to get some other roles, maybe he should cut his hair off, and that's what he did. And then director calls him back for reshoots, and so he's got short hair, so they had to go get a wig from some local Hollywood wig shop or whatever, and they didn't have any male style of hairstyles for wigs, so it was basically just female.
Which is awesome. And you can actually see in some of those fight scenes his wig is coming off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely coming off.
Gold.
They basically don't really attach it. They just kind of place it on his head and then put a hat.
Yeah. You can see the head just kind of.
You see it immediately as soon as the movie. That's his introduction. So that's the messed up part. Is okay, reshoots and all this. They didn't even shoot his introduction. After he cut his hair,
it goes scene for scene. Like he could be in the scene doing one thing with his regular hair, and then the very next cut is a close up of him with a wig on because whatever he needed that reshoot to be right there.
While we're actually talking about hair, we got to talk about the mullets in this movie.
Oh God,
yeah, just about everybody had mullets. Movie, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's like watching WCW wrestling in 1991. Everybody has these massive mullets, hardcore. What about the music?
Oh man, the 80s video game music to pretty much it was, a lot of the cutscenes, man. It was
pretty much the entire track bed of music throughout the entire movie sounds like a boss battle from every video game. From 1985 to 1995. When you would
Double Dragon.
Yeah, when you would hit the boss, here it comes. That was the music.
It's great.
Except for that one part where they straight up almost clearly ripped off Jaws. When I think it's when Yamashita is walking up, sneaking up and looking in the windows, him and his goons towards the end of the movie, it's just dun and then they kind of mix in the there's a lot to talk about. There really is, and we're gonna have to cut it short because we're not gonna sit here all day. But number one, we highly recommend this movie, but we cannot get out of here without talking about the horny nurse scene. Right? That's what the shit was that?
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to go out with me?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to fuck me?
That scene I had seen. It's on YouTube. It was on YouTube before the movie came out, an official, and the official new whatever Blu-ray DVD release of it. So,
yeah, well, I think that kind of revived the movie, right? That kind of became viral, the horny nurse scene, and then, that kind of, I guess, prompted it to finally get some kind of proper release or something. Because I think the best I could tell, it only was released on VHS at some point afterwards. And that wasn't even here in the U.S., I don't think.
There was a whole folklore story about it being print being found in a castle somewhere. But that was just some stuff flying around or whatever. But it was found in some film vault somewhere. This negative was finally discovered again.
Have you been circumcised?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Well, your doctor must have cut a big portion of it off.
Smoak, I'll let you do a 0 through 10 scale, just like the Grindhouse rating, except we'll call it the Vortex rating. And that'll kind of be where it lands on, does it meet the certain criteria similar to what we do on Grindhouse Gutter? And then we'll say whether we recommend it or not. So go ahead.
Since this is the inaugural episode, and since we just came up with this on the fly, as far as the rating thing, I guess what I'll say is I'll sort of rate it based on enjoyment of the movie necessarily. Of course, it's not going to be based on the production value, but sometimes for these movies, production value is part of the enjoyment of the movie. It's how lousy the production value is. This one is very entertaining from beginning to end. I think there's points that drop and drag and all that stuff, and continuity issues, budget issues all the way through. the music, as we mentioned, the scenes of ridiculous dialogue, and the way the scenes are executed as well. Might give this one a 7, I think, just on sheer entertainment value of, because I've seen a lot of shot on video, and this movie's not shot on video, it's shot on film, but I've seen a lot of these types of movies, and I have a bit of a thing for these types, especially action movies.
But you know something? I don't give a fuck.
As far as I'm concerned, I would highly recommend watching this movie at least once, right? I say twice only if you're with a group of like-minded individuals.
Yeah, probably probably twice with substances and
yeah.
Because
I mean, if we were doing like a watch along with the Spook Show gang, like all 4 of us, yeah, I would sit there and watch this again. Would I go out of my way to watch this again? No, but I think it needs to be witnessed at least once in your life. You need to see this movie. So, in that regard, I recommend it.
God, there's so much to talk about. Like, I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely recommend it.
If you don't like so bad they're good type movies or super low budget trash from like the 80s and 90s, then of course you're going to hate this movie. But if you do and you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it.
He was smart in every way, except one thing.
What's that?
With all his money and success, he's not as smart as I am.
We recommend it. Go check it out. No question about it. Now, like we said off the top, we spin the wheel here on the Vortex, so we don't know where it's going to land. We've got literally almost 300 movies to choose from. And ironically, we spun it again to see what we're going to do on the next Vortex. And damn if it didn't land on what we just did on Grindhouse Gutter. Literally came out, a week or two ago here on the YouTube channel, Strike Commando. It landed on Strike Commando 2, the sequel. Yeah, there's only 2 of these movies ever made, and now we're going to knock them both out within a month. So at least we'll have them out of the way, right? There's that. So
yeah, the only crazier odds it would have been is if it had landed on Samurai Cop 2.
yeah, that would have been, like we said before when we were joking about it when it happened. If it had landed on Samurai Cop 2, then we would have took the show to Vegas. We needed to go buy a bunch of lottery tickets, so on and so forth. But yeah, come back on the next Vortex. We're going to be talking about Strike Commando 2. You don't want to miss it. And of course, you don't want to miss anything here on the Spook Show YouTube channel, including Spook Show Rewinds, Grindhouse Gutter, Hammer Horror in Order, and now this new series, Video Vortex. So we appreciate your time, and come back next time.
Leave him alone. He's a samurai. He wants to die with honor.